All right, everybody, welcome back. And this is going to be a weekly recap of the two trades that I ended up taking today. I ended up taking a trade on Monday, then I ended up taking a trade on Tuesday, which was a beautiful winner. And I pretty much just walked away for the whole week. And let's just jump right into it. So, the first trade that I took was on Monday. When we are looking at the daily time frame, we see that we are pretty much bullish, still at all-time highs. Kind of sucks a little bit, but again, we're here to just make it work. It doesn't matter. We can be at all-time lows, at all-time highs. We're here just to make some money every week in and week out, month in and month out. So, looking at the weekly time frame, one of the first thing that I saw is that we were inside of a daily volume imbalance, right? So now, one of the things about volume imbalance, it's one of the weakest PDRAs that ICT has. It's what am I saying by this? It's that we can see a volume imbalance having wicks back and forth, up and down, and still having some sort of respect later on the day or the week, especially if it's a daily volume imbalance. So maybe on the lower time frame, we might see candles closing below and above, but that doesn't completely change the narrative that we might be looking for higher prices. So let me just mark it down real quick. This is the daily volume imbalance. This is the high out of it. Let me just copy this stuff right here. So again, narrative, higher time frame wise, we are bullish. We are inside of a daily volume imbalance. When we go into the 4 hour time frame, again, there is not a lot of information right in here. We see that if you see this, if you avoid looking at the daily time frame and you go straight into the 4 hour, you're gonna have no clue what you're actually looking up to, right? And of course, we're inside of this down close candle right here, which is a bullish order block that we're typing into it. But I kind of this day on Monday, I ended up just literally skipping through the 4 hour time frame because I already got my narrative from the daily. So going into the hourly, again, what are we seeing right here? Not much info. Again, if we have a clear bias from the daily, then I'm just gonna rely on the daily. If the daily is not clear, then I'm gonna drop into the 4 hour time frame to see if we have a clear draw liquidity or a narrative behind the trade. But again, I took my bias from the daily time frame. So going into the lower, more time frame, we see that we have this SEBI right up here, which is a 50-minute sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. We have this right here. Again, narrative is that we are looking for higher prices. We have all this generated buy side liquidity. Right? This is candy land. Okay, this is candy land for the market. So we have that drawn liquidity. 50-minute wise, we see that we are dropping. And when we go, let's just go literally straight into the lower time frames right away. We see what's A30. A30 goes higher a little bit, generates relatively equal highs. And what do I say about relatively equal highs? Again, the same thing with relatively equal lows. So it's just gonna be candy land for the market. Its price is gonna draw into them the majority of the time. So we see 9:30 open right here, and we immediately go towards the upside. Now, this right here, this is one of the things that I want to get better at. This trade right here, this is perfect. What do we have right here? We have a low, a high, a low, higher high, and then we have this breaker right here. When we extend that to the right, this could have been a nice long going for the upside, catching what 50 to 60 handles. But the only reason of why I did not end up going long, and it's all in the live stream, it's we didn't have a clear inefficiency. We didn't have a clear buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and that's pretty much what I look for when I'm looking inside of a breaker most of the time. So that was the only reason why I held back from taking a long, which is not a bad thing. I'm following the protocol, I'm following the trading plan, but yeah, that was pretty much it. We ended up tapping back into the breaker, and we pretty much just ended up shooting up to the upside above this short-term buy sell liquidity, minor buy sell liquidity. So if we actually take the time to analyze from here, from this long right here to that high right there, that's 70 handles. Me personally, for my model, what I look for on every single trade, if I'm able to catch a trade of 50 handles, I'm done. I'm done. I'm completely and utterly done from the charts. If I would have gone long right here and taken the majority of my position off, let's say if I would have been with 10 contracts, I would have taken 8 out of here and then leaving some of the rest for the candy land that we have right up here and be completely done. Now, I missed this entry, and as I was watching the market, I kept going into higher time frames, and I ended up going long inside of this 3 minute buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Now, looking at this trade looks great. In my opinion, I'll take this trade every single time. I mean, we bias. The narrative is that we are looking for higher prices. We have Candyland right up here. We are bullish because we are tapping into this daily buy set imbalance, sell set inefficiency. We have a 1 minute breaker. We have a breakaway gap, and that's why I was anticipating this buy set imbalance, sell set inefficiency to hold. And my stop loss was right below this candle. Now, it might seem like a huge as wide stop loss, and it's because I allow price every single time to do what it wants to do. Even though that I'm anticipating this gap to hold price higher, and I'm anticipating this gap to just stay open as a breakaway gap, I'm allowing if price wants to get into it. My stop loss is right here. I'm protected because sometimes that's what it does. And on Friday, last Friday, I ended up taking a shorting at all-time highs. That's exactly what happened. I was anticipating a gap to stay open, and I didn't. It retreated into it, and then we pretty much just dumped, spoofed lower. So that's why I allow price to do what it wants to do. So I ended up going long in here. My stop loss right over here, and you already know what happened. Absolutely demolished. Ended up losing around 730 something dollars on this trade. And again, I was completely and utterly fine. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. It is what it is, part of the game. You're not gonna get to a point where you're not gonna take losing trades. If you are in this industry and you think you're gonna be enigma, that you're not gonna take losing trade ever, then you're completely and utterly wrong. I mean, you might go for a good run over a long period of time, but that loss is common, my friend. So, but the better you get at trading, which is my goal, uh, losing a little bit less, being more precise, because most of my losses come from my inability for me to read the market properly, not because the market is not behaving the way that it's supposed to behave. It definitely comes from personal mistakes. So, and poor performance. So again, this would have been a nice trade inside of this breaker. 60, 70 handles. Stop loss below mean threshold of this proportion block right here. Why is this a proportion block? It is an order block tapping into another order block. Would have been great. Again, missed it. It is what it is. And now this right here. I did not take this, but this would have been an amazing trade if we would have taken this low right here. This is the only thing that I did not like about this right here, this trade, where we went lower back inside of the daily buy set imbalance, no, the daily volume imbalance. We have displacement, we have a gap, right here, we have Candyland right up here, and even though it was the most highest resistant liquidity run ever, it still would have been a great trade. Like this was amazing right here. If we would have had an SMT right here, that would have be the cherry on top. Because I wouldn't have the innate confidence for me to go long inside here when we have relatively equal lows and none of the highly correlated market. I really need to take my time to say these words. Chill out. Highly correlated markets. SMT would have I'm not sure if I was still looking at the chart at this point, but again, it was a high resistant liquidity run. We were having a lot of back and forth, but definitely got to the candy land, and my bias was bullish, and we got there. And that was pretty much it. Now, second trade on Tuesday, which was amazing. You just got into it. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Select bar. Okay, so we're there. Again, what are we? Bullish. Just looking at price action. We are completely and utterly bullish. There's no reason for us to think about taking it short in here. So daily bullish. For our, we have this inversion for our FEG, which I'm gonna highlight right now. And again, if we are looking for lower prices, what do we want to see? We want to see SIBIs functioning as resistance on price. And when they don't, what's going to happen? We're going to inverse the SIBI and use it as support on price to keep going higher. That's exactly what it did. We see price, then we're bullish. We're gonna jump into it hourly. It's bullish. Let me just jump inside of the 1 minute right away. It's like when we this is one of the things that I do when I already derived my bias from the higher time frame. The first thing that I do is just like, okay, I already know that I'm looking for higher prices. Then jump into the lower time frame, look for the manipulation, displacement, especially me and FEG targeting opposing side of liquidity. Simple, like that's it. So jumping into the lower time frame, again, we have Candyland all the way up here. The market drops. Now, if I'm looking for higher prices, you don't understand how this makes me feel. When 930, if I'm looking for higher prices, and the first thing that 930 does is go lower, I'm cheesing. Yo, I want you to understand that when I'm looking for higher prices and 930 opens low, I'm cheesing. I'm cheese. This is exactly what I want to see. Because in this movement right here, every retail minded trader is getting absolutely demolished. This is exactly what I want to see. Like, and this is the mindset that you need to see in the mental paradigm shift if you really want to be a smart money trader. I'm cheesing when I see this. So we have 930 opening low, and at this point, right, we took sell liquidity, and we see that we are deviating from the hourly inversion FEG. But again, when we go no from the 4 hour inversion FEG, but again, where are we into? We have a gap right here. We have these two consecutive down close candle, which is a bullish order block, and we also have this hourly inversion. So we definitely can have a deep retracement and still go higher like we did. So the deeper it went to at the 930 equity open, the better it was for me. So we kept going lower. And what do we have? We have Candyland right up here. We took sell side below this low. What if let me see. Let me have this one. We took sell side below this low. We have all this generated sell side liquidity right below here, right? And we are manipulating. Retail is chasing this. Retail minded traders are chasing this, and this is strong resistance, and the market is not gonna go up. Fugazi, fugazi, fugazi. That's what it is. So 930 opens low. Let me actually save this. And now we have sell liquidity taken. We are in an area where I am anticipating price to reject, which is the hourly busy. Do we went lower into the other busy? We'll see. And we see displacement. We have everything in place. We have generated by sell liquidity. We have a high right here, a high right here, a high right here. This becomes high probability. When the high on the left is higher than the high on the right, that becomes high probability. We are in an area where we anticipate on the market to reject. I am looking for higher prices at 930 opens low. This is exactly what I want to see personally. And then we have displacement. Now, what am I looking for? A retracement inside of an FEG. And in this trade, I literally had zero drawdown. I literally had zero drawdown on this trade. It was literally getting in and making $1,200. Bro, like, I ended up going long inside of this busy. I said if we have a retracement inside of this busy, I'm going to go long, which I did. Went long right there. Took most of my position off right here. And then the rest was right up here. And I'm going to finish it up just showing you the two trades. Well, you know what? It's all in the live stream. But yeah, that was pretty much the recap. I did upload the on my Twitter the two trade that I took on the account. It's just a picture of it that I had on my X account, and that was pretty much it. Now I guess I can just have a little conversation and close this stuff up, and just like how do I feel so far? I mean, it's pretty great. I'm not at the point where I still want to be. Again, it's still a lot of room for improvement and things that I need to change upon things, and especially with my performance, there's plenty room for improvement because I'm still making silly mistakes where I get ahead of myself, where I'm not in full control of the things that I'm doing. And it's one of the reasons of why I'm coming out here, just literally no safety net, making mistakes right at the open, live stream and everything, and no security within it. Like you're seeing everything, and it's cool seeing the progress and seeing the improvement of someone who wants to go from point A to point B, which is my absolutely and utterly goal. So it's definitely been an amazing journey. I feel great. Um, and we're gonna keep on pushing to becoming better every single time. That's just what my goal is. I'm not focused off if whatever it is. I'm focused on improving upon things, and that's what I'm about to do every single day. Locked the fuck in. So yeah, that was the little trade recap.